Did you know that 70% of 65-year-olds will need long-term care sometime in their life?
Wow, Steve, that's an interesting stat, 70%. I think of it because we're talking to people about long-term care, we're talking to couples.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea that 70% or 7 out of 10 are going to need something before their time is up. I think it's sort of interesting that when you're talking to two people, you're thinking, okay, so you really are feeling that lucky that you're going to be 2 out of the 3 that don't need it. It's really interesting. But it just goes to tell you that long-term care is a very common risk to retirement that people need to address, right?
Yep. So why would annuity guys like us even be concerned about or even wanting to talk about long-term care?
Yeah, very good question. And I think it's because of what I just touched on is the idea that you can have the greatest retirement plan in the world. But if an individual or a couple is hit with a long-term care event that they have not prepared for, it can be devastating to their retirement plan. Long-term care costs, what, $100,000 a year is probably a conservative number, sometimes less, sometimes more, but it's very expensive. And if you haven't planned for it, it can devastate your retirement plan. So not everybody has maybe saved enough to be able to address that long-term care need, but it depends, but if they've saved enough and they have the luxury of being able to address it, we've got some phenomenal solutions to do that. If they haven't saved enough and they got to squeeze every penny they can out of their retirement income, maybe they need to bear that risk or consider mitigating that risk in some other ways. But all things said, if they can afford the long-term care, the risk is high and they ought to do that as part of a well-developed retirement plan.
Yep, that's right. And so we got a couple of different options. One, for qualified money that we like to use. You want to tell them about that?
Right. Yeah. One of my favorite solutions in the long-term care market is Asset Care, a product from One America. It's a life with long-term care solution. We like this a lot for really 4 reasons. The first one being, you touched on it, it takes qualified money, which is outstanding. The second one is that it covers jointly. It covers your husband and wife. Third, the one that we like a lot is that it's guaranteed. The price can't go up once you buy it and you're locked in. And the fourth thing is that they offer a lifetime benefit, which back in the day was very common with long-term care, but now it's the only one that I know of. So it's a really great solution. You can do it with non-qualified money as well, but to be able to do it with qualified money, that's the only solution that I know of that handles qualified money well. So we like that a lot for a particular reason. The second one that I often think of is ForeCare. You want to talk about that one?
Yeah, ForeCare is with Global Atlantic. It's a fixed annuity. It only takes non-qualified funds. And it's just much easier when it comes to underwriting and what needs to be required for a client to be healthy enough to accept it. There's 10 questions. If you can answer no to the first 5, with a straight face, you're basically going to get 2 times your money. If you can answer no to the next 10, the next 5, then you're going to get 3 times your money on that. So it's a fantastic way to be able to leverage some of your non-qualified money for long-term care. And it's for someone that may not be as healthy as they need to be for a fully underwritten one, but just being able to answer 10 questions.
Right. Yeah, the 10 questions part is interesting. And it's an easy way to turn like a $100,000 asset into a $300,000 bucket for long-term care. Yep. And what's nice is the questions are really about your activities, daily living. Like, are you missing any? Or are you well on your way to missing any? There's no death benefit involved. So it's a much easier thing to qualify for. So that's one. The next one that comes to mind for me a little bit is Equitrust has a new product out called Bridge. And Bridge is another very much like the ForeCare solution, but they also have some guaranteed issue components in the Bridge solution. So there's a few different unique situations or niches that Bridge from Equitrust is uniquely capable of addressing. So with that, we also have the life department here at Gordon Marketing. So on the annuity side, we talk about long-term care, but probably the ones that are less underwritten. Yeah. On the life side, we've got a lot of fully underwritten life solutions that can accelerate a death benefit and perhaps provide an indemnity-like long-term care solution for a lot of different people. So call to anybody at Gordon Marketing on the life and annuity team, whether they're life or annuity, can help you with your long-term care needs. So with that, we sure thank you for taking time to join us today. If you do us a favor and like and subscribe down below, so you'll get all the new Selling Life and Annuity content when it comes out. But with that, thanks for joining us today, and happy selling.